Welcome to the Seer Show. Join us as we dive into the dynamic world of health, wellness, mindset, and fitness with the unparalleled guidance of lifelong knowledge seekers, Sifu Rafael and Nikki Gangemi. Sifu and Nikki will unlock groundbreaking insights with extraordinary guests from around the globe. You'll get the latest holistic approaches to well-being with a sharp focus on the powerful connection between mind, body, and soul. Get ready to take the leap. It's time to embrace a brighter and healthier future with us at the Seer Show.
5, 4,
Nikki, Happy New Year.
Good morning, Sifu. Happy New Year, our first show of 2026.
Look at that. I'm excited.
So am I. Yeah, we got a great topic this morning.
Oh my goodness. What is the topic? Reigniting?
The warrior spirit.
Ooh. Gotta bring him to life.
Yes.
It's very interesting, and we can talk about this in the show. I think a lot of people don't realize that they have it inside of them.
That is right. It is a lot that we have inside of us that we look outside for.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go ahead and bring our incredible guest. Good morning, Rob.
Good morning. Good morning. Boy, that was a great introduction that you guys put together. I love that. It got me excited, got me pumped.
You know what's very interesting? That the end of our show makes us all dance.
Yes. So get ready.
Yeah, okay. You don't want to see me dance. You don't want to see me dance, but I'll try my best.
What's a lot of fun is the show itself, not the beginning and the end, but you know.
Yeah. That's right. The show itself. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. So I love this topic, and being that you're the Warrior Forge, I think it's perfect topic.
Thank you.
So reigniting the warrior spirit. What does that mean to you, Rob?
I think what it means to me, and what I do is I focus specifically on men, but women have that warrior spirit as well. Mm-hmm. It's something that's deep inside of us. It's there. It was there when we were born, and a lot of times the world will just beat it out of us. And when you reignite that warrior spirit, for me, I stopped settling for the life that I believe I needed. And I just see too many people going through the motions of life. They just think, oh, this is what I need out of life. And you know what? They're miserable. They're miserable because they're not pursuing what they want. Mm. And when you reignite that warrior spirit, you start pursuing what you want out of life. And what you want is it's not in a selfish way. I think what most people want, especially men, they want to be better men. They want to be that, better husband to their wives, that more impactful father to their children, better leaders within their community, within their workplace. And when a man ignites that warrior spirit, that fire becomes alive. And to me, fire is something that purifies. It's something that lights the way. And we got to have that fire within us. And too many people have just kind of let it go down to embers. But it's still there. But it's time to just kind of feed that fire and let it burn.
Oof, I like that.
So good.
Yeah. And I love the fact that you said that it's not just for men, because I got to tell you, Nikki, what a warrior. What a warrior she is. So, Nikki, what does that mean for you, reigniting the warrior spirit?
Well, I was going to say, listening to Rob when he said, especially for men, they want to be a better version of themselves. And those weren't your words. And I was thinking, well, as a woman, I too want to be a better version of myself, not only better, but stronger as well. Mm-hmm. I don't know if men can relate to that, but for me, it's like, I want to show up as that more empowered, stronger version of myself. And I notice as I'm getting older that I'm changing, caring less about what people think, and just, being more comfortable being myself. And it's not going to be for everybody. One of my mentors, he wears this shirt that says, "I'm not for everybody." I think it's great. Yeah. Reigniting the warrior spirit. To me, I feel like a warrior focuses on what's right in front of them. And
Exactly.
they kind of have to for survival, right? So for me, the reigniting the warrior spirit is getting out of the past, getting out of the future, and just focusing on what's right in front of you and going at it unapologetically, relentlessly. Yeah. So that's what it means to me.
And you really hit it there, because I'll mention this to some people and they think, oh, you just want to go to war. No. That's not what a warrior is about. A warrior is not a warrior doesn't really want war. He'll do war when he has to. But what a warrior does, he takes that stand and he will engage what's in front of him, but he's more concerned about protecting who stands behind him. And when he has that strong foundation, he's able to do it. And, a lot of where I've come up with this, my faith is important to me. And I just kind of look at faith examples of warriors through history. And one of the greatest ones to me is a man called Eleazar. And if you're a student of the Bible, you may be familiar with him. He's one of David's mighty men. And, when we read about Eleazar, he took his stand in battle one day and he grasped that sword so strong that it froze to his hand. And he won the battle that day. He was able to it says, the Bible tells us, he was able to kill 600 of the enemy. The sword to me represents truth. That's the truth. And we must know our truths. And the world wants to remove our thumbs. You think about this. Back in the day, if you took somebody a prisoner on the battlefield, first thing you had to do is you had to chop off their thumbs. Because once you chopped off their thumbs, they could never grasp a sword against you. The world wants to remove our thumbs so we can't know our truths. So grasp your truths. And that when you understand your truths and you know what it is you want, there's nothing that's going to stop you.
Well, I never thought of the thumb as being as important as you just mentioned it, because I do a lot of swordsmanship, right? I use weapons all the time. And I can only imagine me not being able to use a sword because of my thumb, because does create a C clamp, if you will, right?
Right.
So it's so important. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I'm so glad I'm alive now and not then when they were cutting off people's thumbs.
Yeah. Keep your thumbs. Keep your thumbs.
Keep your thumbs. Keep your thumbs. Yes. Keep those thumbs.
So when you were both talking, I kept envisioning this warrior spirit, awakening the warrior spirit. And it made me think of caveman. And not necessarily back in the Roman times, but even before then, right? Because when they woke up every day, and I don't know if they woke up in the afternoon or the evening or the night, we don't know. But when they woke up, they had to really ignite that warrior spirit, because there was a couple of things that went through their mind immediately. Am I still safe? Oh, I can't just go to the fridge and get some eggs out and start cooking things. I got to either go hunt for it. So I have to reignite. I have to sharpen my weapons, if I even have weapons, right? I have to go find the food. So it's a different mentality that we have. Who ate this morning? I just had coffee, right?
Yeah, just coffee.
But here's the thing, right? I didn't have to go to the field and get it. I didn't have to go milk anything. It was all convenient. I put it in my machine. It got hot. It came out. I got my milk. And actually, I'm using coconut milk, but I didn't have to go squeeze the coconut. So all these different things that we think about, right, that we take for granted. And so every morning, and Nikki knows this, anytime she asks me how I'm doing, I said exceptional and getting better every day, because I don't want to be the same guy I was yesterday. Yeah. Right. So every day, that's how I wake up in the morning. And I was telling you both earlier that I put my alarm clock on. I don't even know why, because I wake up way before it. And even this morning, I was up before it. And for me, it's the first things I think about when I wake up. First, like you talked about faith, I pray, right? I thank God for all the gifts he's given me. And I pray for all my family and so forth. And my day starts in prayer and it ends in prayer. But even during the day, I'll say a couple of things. Even if somebody cuts me off and they give me the finger, I'm like, oh, look at that. They think I'm number one. That's beautiful. So, yeah, they're using the wrong finger, right? This is number one.
I call that the one finger salute. They gave me the one finger salute.
There you go.
I love
There you go. But even then, when somebody's like, they're cutting people off and they're driving crazy, I say, please keep them safe. I said, and please hit them upside the head so they can realize that they're putting other people in danger. So I'm always cognitive, can't even say the word, about other people as well, not just myself. So that's how I waken up my warrior spirit, is not only, like you said earlier, Rob, about not self, but others, right? I want to protect those around me, right? As a warrior. But I got to protect me first, because if I can't protect me, how can I protect anybody else?
Exactly. I want to circle back to something you said, that you enter each day. How can you be better? And, I see too many people in social media. It can be the bane of us that we compare. Everybody wants to compare their lives to whatever. And I always know when I see somebody who's got a perfectly curated social media page that they're full of it. They're hiding something. But the only person we should compare ourselves to is who we were yesterday. How have we improved from yesterday to where we are today? That's the only comparison game we should embrace. Compare yourself against who you were. And one of the best ways I have found, you mentioned your morning routine. One of the things that I'm pretty diligent on in my morning is journaling. I have done this for years, and I have saved every journal I've ever written in. My wife, much to my wife's chagrin, I got them on the bookcase. She goes, No. I'm saving all of those, because I will periodically just pull. I do this, maybe 3 or 4 times a year. Just kind of grab one, pull it off the shelf, because I always put a date on what I was there, and I look at my thoughts on that specific date, and I could look at where I'm at now, and I will compare myself. How have I changed? How have I grown? Am I the same? Do I have the same thoughts? Am I thinking the same things? And that power to me of pen to paper, there's an energy in that, Yes, it can be a little chicken scratch at times. I understand that. But there's an energy in that that I can't equate. And some days maybe I'll write for 30 seconds. Some days maybe I'll write for 30 minutes. It doesn't matter. But I just want to put something in.
I love that.
Yes.
I got to tell you, prior to me getting, and I do write a lot myself. This is my Remarkable 2. And prior to me getting the Remarkable 2, I love journaling also. I got to tell you, I'm a lunatic. Please don't take that out of context, people. It probably is going to be a meme over there of me saying I'm a lunatic. But here's the thing. I did 5 journals. 5. And so for me, you talked about chicken scratch, and that was me. A thought comes on, write it down, and then put it aside, and then later on refine that thought, and then rewrite it, right? Yeah. And then I will come back and I would look at all the writings I had for the day, and then take out the ones that made more sense, and then put them in a different journal, and then think about it some more, and then refine it, put another one, and then do the final journal. So now it becomes more cognitive. Yeah. You see, I can't say that word today. Cognizant. That's it. So that's how I get better, right? Because I can't always do it by myself. So when I mess up, I ask for help.
Yeah.
Right? So am I messing up on purpose, or am I messing up because I'm getting stuck with it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So every day when I write, it is getting that out of here onto paper. And the only reason I like this thing so much is because I'm actually still writing. Yeah. And when we write it in 2 places. One, on paper. The other one is on our brain. Yeah. If we think it, we say it, it's good because you're also hearing it. But it does something to our brain when we actually physically write it. Yeah. And I love the journaling part. So thank you for that.
Yeah. And you kind of said that. I believe all creation happens twice. First, we dream it, think it, whatever, and then we do something about it. So everything that we've done, it's happened twice, because you get that thought first, and then what are you going to do with that thought? Are you going to capture that thought through journaling it or however? And once you've captured it, what are you going to do at that point? Is it something that's worth taking action on? And you know, when people work with me, I always encourage them, stop waiting for the perfect time. Perfect time doesn't exist. Doesn't exist in this world. So stop waiting for it. Just take the imperfect action. Don't worry if you're ready. Just do it. Just take that step. Because a lot of times when we take that step, we realize what we can accomplish. And if you take that step, you know, the thing is, the people that are refusing, they're waiting for the perfect time, they're chewing on your dust because you're racing ahead of them. Just do it. Just take the step.
Yeah. That's a great motto to live by, because we could be waiting forever if we're waiting for perfection. It doesn't exist. So just take the step and tweak along the way.
Yeah.
I just saw a cartoon not too long ago, and it showed like a ladder, and it was all like mixed up and whatever, but they get to the top, and then there was another ladder that only had 2 rungs on it, and because it was perfect, it was perfect. They're waiting for perfection to happen before they take the action, and the other one's like, you know what? I just got to get to the top. I don't care what it looks like. It can't be pretty all the time, right? And a lot of people do that. And you talked about people's social media page, because if it's so perfect, we don't live in a perfect world. No. Imagine if we did. What would that be like? Boring.
It would be fun. It would be boring. Yeah.
It would be boring.
And you talked about that ladder going that's part of the journey. That's part of the journey in life. Because you have an idea where you want to go. I mean, I believe you manifest what you want, remember your future, and that's what you want. Create that vision. But in the process of getting to that destination, there's no guarantee that it's just going to go smoothly. As a matter of fact, it's not going to. You're going to have those moments of failure. You're going to have those moments where you got to reassess, like, wait a minute, is this the direction I want to go? And don't worry about failure. There's power in failure. There is absolute power in failure, because that can be your greatest learning experience. Don't fear failure. Just do something. If you fail, so what? So what? Every great person who's accomplished something will share with you the failures that they've had in their life. I love the expression that Thomas Edison said, that he never once failed at making the light bulb, but it did take him 10,000 tries to get it right.
Yeah. Yes, I love that.
Yeah, and I really I said, good morning, Lancelot.
Good morning. I saw him engaging in the chat.
Yeah,
I have reframed failure to be feedback. And so I look at the word fail, F-A-I-L, to mean feedback as I level up. To me, it's only failure if I give up on something I still desire. So long as I keep taking action and recalculating along the way, it's just feedback.
Yeah.
I because I teach youngsters, right? One of the, and I say to them, because a lot of times they get down on themselves. And so I'll say to them, I said, who do you think fails more than you? They're like, oh, I like me. I do. I said, if I don't fail, I don't learn. So failure for me is something that I don't go there and go, I hope I fail. No, I don't do that.
No.
But when I do, I'm like, what could I fix? What can I change? Who can I have help me so I don't fail in that manner, so I can succeed more, right? I think success is understanding that there is failure in everything we do, but sometimes we incorporate others to help us, so there's less of it.
Yeah. One of my biggest downfalls for years as a man is I wouldn't ask for help. I just, and I think a lot of men are geared that way. They just say, I'll get this. I'll figure it out. And sometimes you need help. Sometimes you got to be a little vulnerable. And, I've led and facilitated men's groups for, over 25 years. And I've always found that the conversation that a man can have with another man is just a little bit different than the conversation that maybe we have with our spouse or our significant other. And not that we're hiding things from our wife. We want to be strong. We want to be resolute for our wife. But sometimes we just, we have those little trepidation, those fears that are inside of us. And to me, that's part of being a warrior. You got to understand what it is you can do. You got to understand what it is you can accomplish. And that's really where you engage that warrior spirit. And, I've one of as I was kind of going through this process of, leading men's groups and doing this, I remember many times where I would, want to launch something, and I just was not getting the reception I needed from men. And I figured out years ago, go to the women and tell them what you're doing. And they will talk to their husbands. And I remember one event in particular is that I wanted to have an outing, where we just go out in the woods and do men's stuff, just do hua men's stuff, camp and rappel and do all this kind of stuff. And I just was getting no response. I mean, I had two men that were interested. This was through my faith community. And so I had a couple women that I knew they led groups, and they were good friends of mine. And I said, hey, can I come and talk to your group and just share with them what I'm doing? Went to both of these, and within 24 hours, I had 12 men sign up to be a part of this. So I think that women see this in their men. They want their men to be that warrior. They want that man to be a leader. They want their man to be the man that he knows he wants to be. They see it. Maybe the man doesn't see it, but they definitely see it in them.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking about this. I'm imagining back in the old days before GPS was out, a man driving will never stop to ask for directions. Ever, right? A woman will always ask for directions. So if you took a man driving and a woman driving and they were going to the same place, who's going to get there first?
The woman?
She will. You know why? Because she asks for directions. She asks for help.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that men still believe that if they show that they're vulnerable, it shows weakness.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the wrong thinking. It's more like, hey, you know what? I can use some help. I can ask for help. But it doesn't show that I'm weak. It shows that maybe I'm not good at this part.
Yeah.
And it's just like in any business, right? You can't run a multi-million-dollar business as one person, as an entity, right?
Yeah.
You need other people to help you along the way. And so I think that when men realize the potential that they have, and then they hone in on it, then they say, hey, I need to bring John and Mary, Sue, Frank, all these different people to create this incredible vision that I had. And now it's this multi-million-dollar business. So it's important for us to not only awaken our own warrior spirit, but maybe even awaken somebody else who you think is snoring a little bit. Like, hey, wake up.
I think it's pride. I think it's pride that is a stumbling block for many men, is they think, I got this, I've got this. And one thing that I think that's powerful for men is a brotherhood. Men need to be in some type of brotherhood, whatever that looks like, because that brotherhood of other men keeps men accountable. And the brotherhoods I've created, it centers around accountability, because I've always believed that as a man, the one person that I struggle to hold accountable the most is myself. I can say I'm going to do something, but am I really committed to it unless somebody's holding my feet to the fire? If somebody's holding my feet to the fire, then I have somebody to answer to.
Mm-hmm.
You made me think of something, right? Because you're coming from a man's perspective. I just would love to hear Nikki's perspective, because you're talking men need a group, but women need a group too. Here's the thing that used to happen to me a lot, and I'm gonna say I'm guilty of it, and I will continue probably to do it. I will go to somebody's house, and everybody would be in the kitchen. All of a sudden, the men leave because they're going to go have a cigar, some drinks or whatnot, and the women stayed in the kitchen. I stayed in the kitchen because I wanted real good conversation. I wanted the insights. And so sometimes, a lot of times when I did go with the men, it was like, man, you guys don't talk about much. You don't open up. I'm going back to where the real conversation is going on. So, and I think that what happens is when men are not, when they don't have their guard up, that's when the real conversation happens. So you'd say when they go to the woods and they do this, because I belong to a group called He-Man Group, right? And I'm a He-Man, if you will. And it's about people really opening up and telling what scares them and so forth. But men don't normally do that. And they're not willing to do that because they don't feel safe enough. But when you get into an environment where you can, that's different. But in general population, I don't think men do that.
No. I think that's the power of a strong brotherhood. When men trust each other and know that, hey, he's got my back regardless of what happens. And then you can have those conversations. Because I've been around men, and we can just have the most superficial conversations about, hey, what, football or whatever, what, and it's just like, okay, I can only, but having those deeper conversations is what the power of brotherhood is. And I hear what you're saying, that and women need to be around other women as well too. But I honestly believe that the conversation with a group of men is going to be very different than the conversation with a group of women.
It's going to be very different. And even as I'm listening to you both and I'm relating, it's the help is neutral, but we've assigned different meanings to it. When I have struggled with asking for help, the reason was because I didn't want to be a bother or a burden, which is a very different meaning that I've assigned to it than you guys have.
Yeah.
So, it's what are we making this mean? And when we're really little, we do ask for help. Help. I can't do this myself. And then we enter that autonomous stage, right? So, 2 years old. And it's like, no, I do. Like, you want to do it. You don't want help. You want to do it yourself.
Yeah. And you mentioned, going back to when you were little, you're asking for help. I think a lot of the things in our lives will go back to our youth. Because when we were young, we had these, visions or dreams of what we wanted to become when we grow up. And we just kind of, that's not realistic. That's not. But we always go back to those things that we dreamed when we were young. And there's a reason for that, because I think that's part of why we were created. That image or that dream or whatever it is was given to us at birth for a reason. I mean, I'm like I said, I'm a man of faith, and I believe that we're here for no other reason than to serve others. And how we serve speaks to who we are. And not everybody's going to serve the same way, but you have to serve in some fashion, some way, some form.
Right.
And find how you want to serve, whatever that looks like to you. And when you find it, you'll know that this is what I was meant to be. This is what I was meant to do. Because you'll just feel that energy. I call it that sweet spot in life.
Yeah.
You'll feel it, where everything just feels effortless, because this is what I was called to be. This is who I was called to be.
It's like this a feeling of this knowing or this certainty that you feel inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's a question. Do we only wake up the warrior spirit once a day or multiple times a day? That's a question for both of you.
Yeah, sometimes I think it needs to be woken up multiple times a day, because, not every day is going to go as you planned. As a matter of fact, very few days are going to go as you planned. The days that go as you planned are few and far between. We've talked about failure, and maybe, something happened that was a real setback to you. You didn't see that one coming. You got to, readjust. And sometimes maybe you have to go deep inside and figure out, okay, how do I got to stoke this fire within me to get it back, to regain that energy, to recalibrate on what it is I want to get accomplished today. So yeah, I think it's something that's, perpetual. You're just not once a day. I think it's a constant thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I see it as, it makes me think of how, and this is something that I tell my clients, is that each new moment that you enter is an opportunity to reset. And if you adopt that mindset, you'll never have to say, I had a bad day ever again. Because usually when we say that, it's like maybe 1 hour of the day was bad, and we generalize it across the entire day. Some people say, oh, it was a bad year. And it's like we overlook how many good moments that we had. So, something I'll say is when you go from one task or one activity to another, it's like take a deep, mindful breath and reset. And you get to choose how you want to enter that segment of your day. So I think we could reignite multiple times a day, like you said, Rob.
Yeah. And it's what you want to focus on too. You kind of said it, that, the opportunities are in today. I see too many people that are hanging on to what happened in their past, and they've created an identity around something that's happened in their past. And well, it's never meant to be because this thing happened 15 years ago. This is who I am. I mean, come on, you got to get over it. You learn from it. I mean, that's part of our story. Learn from it. Or they worry about tomorrow. They just get all anxious and worry about tomorrow, and their mind's racing in 8 different directions about what's going to happen tomorrow. Here's the thing. There's no guarantee you're going to get it tomorrow. There's no guarantee. I mean, yeah, you're probably going to wake up tomorrow, but there's no guarantee that it's going to happen. So live for today. Live for the opportunities of today and embrace those.
I love when you were talking about the moments, Nikki, because with children, when they're having a bad moment, if you keep them in the same environment, that moment will continue longer. Mm-hmm. So there's a book that my ex-wife gave me. I wish she would have read the whole thing. She didn't read the whole thing. It's called 1, 2, 3, It's Magic, right? And it was how to handle children, especially when they're misbehaving, having temper tantrums, the whole deal. And one of the things is that it really depicted was remove the child from the situation. So if they're having a bad time, if they're getting a temper tantrum, just take them, pick them up, and put them somewhere else. Mm-hmm. Different environment, different feeling, different moment, if you will. And all of a sudden, and what I loved about the book is that there was no punishment, right? It was, you go to your room if you're 5 years old, you go for 5 minutes. Go to your room, right? So you're removing them from the situation. And a lot of people say, well, if I send my kid to my room, they have a TV, they have this. Well, that's your fault. That's your problem. Your kid shouldn't have, at 5 years old, they shouldn't have a TV in their room. But that's something else, right? So whatever it is, you're still removing them from the situation. And they're like, what if I send my kid to the room and they start playing? I said, great. You just reframe their mind. So now their room is not punishment. Their room is removal from the bad thing they were doing. Yes. It's how we regenerate the thinking to a better process. Right. So I think that I love when you talked about moments, and that's what made me think of that 1, 2, 3, It's Magic. Any parents out there? Look it up. 1, 2, 3, It's Magic. And I gotta tell you, my kids, I could never get to 3 until they learned, right? Because 3 is punishment, right? But it's not
is that what 3 is?
physical punishment. It's not physical punishment. Mm-hmm. It's more like you being removed. Even if you had to sit on their lap so they wouldn't continue. If I took my kids to a restaurant, people will go, oh my God, your kids are so well behaved. I said, yeah, because I'm treating them like humans, not like little wild animals. Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so if my kids decided to act up, I would remove them, walk outside with them until they calm down, stop crying, had a temper tantrum, whatever. I took them out of the restaurant. Why should everybody else suffer? Because my kid decided to get crazy. So my kids understood, if I don't behave in this restaurant, my dad's going to take me out of it. So my kids, I would always bring coloring books and stuff like that, so they would be occupied. I was not relying on the restaurant to handle my kids. I was relying on me handling my kids.
Yeah.
And so understanding that a moment can define how you act.
Yeah.
So create a different moment. I love that, Nikki.
Yeah. I love what you said about the environment too. Last night I was having dinner and I was sitting at my dining room table and I had my laptop and I was trying to do some work while I was eating. And then when I finished, I went back to continue and I thought to myself, I can't focus here. And I got up from the dining room, went upstairs, came into this office and continued working. And so that's what it reminded me of. I changed environments. I could focus better in here in this office because I've anchored the feeling of focus into this spot right here.
Boom. That's it.
Yeah.
Let me share something that can make you move. Take a look.
The city never sleeps, and neither do the dreamers who build its pulse. From every corner of the globe they come. Visionaries, creators, leaders, each carrying a spark ready to ignite the world. This is not an event. It's a revolution of rhythm and reason. A symphony of minds. A movement of momentum. Sifu Rafael, Lancelot, Jose Escobar. Together they set the stage for brilliance. This is the NYC Experience. Mastermind, light up the city. They coming from the east, coming from the west. Knowledge on deck, put the truth to the test. Leaders in motion, hearts in sync, dropping wisdom so deep it'll make you think. They bring stories, sweat and flame, different faces, one shared name. Elevation, that's the sound. NYC Experience Mastermind, where purpose is found.
See, I saw you guys moving. I saw you guys moving.
That music reignited my energy.
Got that
See
calypso beat going
It
there.
took you to a different environment.
It did.
That's what's happening in Tampa. We're going to have so much fun.
Wow. That was awesome.
Yeah. So one of the things that I created all that, the music and everything else, but
Really
to me, it
impressive.
was so much fun creating it. And every time that I get to create something, it takes me somewhere else, right? And so when I'm in a creative state, I really think of not just me because I'm enjoying it, but what would other people think? How would it make me feel, right? Because we are talking about waking somebody up, and I said before, it's get them from stopping snoring to like wake up your spirit, right? Let's wake up that spirit, that warrior spirit inside of you. Because sometimes you will see somebody who's like, how's your day? Fine. What's going on? Nothing's going on. You know, that kind of nonsense. And so what I tell everybody is stop carrying yourself like that because today may be your last day.
Yeah.
If it is your last day, wouldn't you want to have some fun? Wouldn't you want to enjoy it? Wouldn't you want to reach out to people and say, hey, you know what? Thank you. I love you. All these little things. So I think every day when I do wake up super early in the morning, my spirit is in gratitude because I don't know if today's my last day. Listen, I don't want it to be, right? And you're both invited to my 100th birthday party. You know that. So, but we don't know.
No.
We don't know. So every day I need to be alive. I need to be alert. And when people say to me, you're always in a good mood in this, I'm like, what do you want me to be in a bad mood? Would that make you happy?
Well, you know, some people want to be in a bad mood. They got that, you know, look like they've been eating dill pickles and lemons all day. It's got that sour look on their face. And, you know, you kind of said something there that, you know, you go up to people and, hey, how's it going? And a lot of times that we treat that as just kind of a blow off question. But if you're going to ask that question, be serious about it. Because you said, you know, people okay. Start digging deep. Because I think the greatest gift that we can give people, and this kind of goes back to that, what that means to be a warrior, is just listening to them. People want to be listened to. Listen to them without passing judgment.
Right.
And I think that's the greatest gift that we can give to someone, is just to listen. Actively listen.
People miss that part.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, Nikki, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Because when you actually listen to someone, you don't interrupt with your thoughts.
Right. Yeah. You don't give that, what I call that unsolicited advice, because in all the history of unsolicited advice, nobody has ever said, thank you for that unsolicited advice you just gave.
Oh, yes. Yeah, thank you. I mean, thank you for saying that, Rob, because that, to me, that has become a pet peeve of mine when somebody gives me unsolicited advice. It's so much more impactful if you listen to the person, give them the space to be heard, and ask for permission first if they want any advice or any tips.
Yeah.
They'll receive it a lot better that way if you ask for permission first.
Exactly.
And I like what you just said, Nikki, asking for permission, because a lot of times people get hurt because our words are so powerful that we don't sometimes understand the power of our words. And they may land, you may want to say it one way, but it's like we talked about, the thought is there. I'm going to say it like this, and it kind of comes out a little different. Oh, with the intention was good, but it didn't land right for that person.
Right.
And so a lot of times I will say, did you mean to say that? This is what I got from it. And they're like, oh, no. I'm like, okay, can you clarify? So I think clarifying is an important aspect of how we communicate at a higher level.
Yeah. I agree. Will agree.
Yeah, that's important to clarify, because people will speak and we hear something totally different oftentimes because we're listening through our own experiences, our own internal environment. So it's good to say what you said. Can you clarify, please? Or what I heard you say. And then that gives them the opportunity. Oh, no, that's not what I meant.
Yeah.
So because I teach other leaders and I teach trainers and so forth, when I say something, I go, did you understand? And their hands go up. I said, great. Say it back to me. And all of a sudden they're saying different things. I'm like, wait a minute. Did you understand?
Yeah.
Because if not, I want to be super clear, especially when, as a trainer, as somebody who's going to impact somebody else, we need to be on the same page. Because you may be a page ahead, a page behind. We need to be on the same page, same paragraph, even same sentence. So say it back to me so I understand that you understand. And I think that helps to clarify sometimes.
Yeah. And, that's the power of the warrior spirit as well. And I say I'm looking forward to the coming year. And to me, there's nothing magical about changing the calendar. But you just got to look at the opportunity. I'm looking very forward to the men I'm going to impact this year, the men whose lives I'm going to change. I'm looking very forward to that. I get more excited about changing a man's life sometimes, and I think they get excited how they've changed. Because I think that, to me, that's my calling in life. That's why I've been here to. That's why I'm here to serve. I'm to serve in that way, and you never know the lives you're going to impact. You just never know. Every day gives you that opportunity, and I've experienced it firsthand. I've had people come back to me years later and mention, a conversation we had that I'm like, okay, you remember when you said this to me? What'd I say? I need to know what I said. And they relate it, and they said, this is how it changed me. I'm like, cool. And you never know. You never know those opportunities that you have, how it can change somebody's life. And that's what it means to be a warrior, because you're ready to take that. You're ready to jump at that opportunity. And that's what being a warrior is about. And I want to see men become that warrior, to be ready to embrace those opportunities as they come into their lives and start living that life with purpose, living that life with intention. and figuring out how you want to serve, who you want to serve. I mean, it could be somebody, who lives next door to you. It could be somebody all the way around the world with what you do. But doing those actions, that's what makes a difference in somebody's lives. And that's what, to me, being a warrior is about, is you have to do something. You must do something. And what's that look like? And do it with intention, do it with purpose.
Love it.
Yeah.
Because we are running out of time. So at this point, your information is going across the screen. If Nikki, you could put it back.
Yep,
Tell
there
us
we
what
go.
somebody can expect when they go and do a 30-minute complimentary discovery call with you.
Yeah, what we're going to do is we're really going to dig in. What that idea of what it means to be a warrior to you. I want to understand what does it mean to you, and we'll really go in and explore how and what ways you can take that change. Well, those little action steps you can take. You don't need to have a big action step. Sometimes it's just the small little incremental steps that we do. And when we start doing those small little incremental steps each and every day, eventually they add on upon themselves and they're going to start 10xing. But what it requires of you is to take that action. That's what that's what I really want to explore, is what action can you take right now?
Mm-hmm.
Very simple. What action can you take right now, and then build upon that? And that's the type of conversations I love to have.
Love it. Nikki, would you mind telling them what they can expect when they connect with you?
Sure. Well, when people connect with me, what they can expect is a complete overhaul in the way that they're thinking. What I help people do is to clear habits and fears that they've had for years, from the habit of late night snacking to the habit of being hard on yourself, from the fear of driving over bridges to the fear of leaving a relationship that's been dead for 20 years because you're afraid to start over again. So I help people get out of their own way and go after what they want and what's in alignment for them now.
Yeah.
Love it. I got to tell you, one of the things that I want to just remind all men that when you do awaken your warrior spirit and you act like a man who's supposed to be a man, treat women correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be that man.
Yes.
Don't be that man. Right?
Yeah.
Be the right man, the man who helps other people. So if you're interested, I have so many different programs. One of them is Sifu's Mind Body Method, and that's where I help people realign into who they're supposed to be through their health, their mindset, journaling, like we talked about, faith, all these different things. I have 8 different pillars that I help people realign and reset who they're supposed to be. So thank you, everybody. Really, really appreciate everybody being here with us today. Thank you if you commented or if you see it later on. Share this show with somebody who needs to hear it. Because guess what? You never know who needs to hear it, right? Just share it. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. God bless. We will see you soon.